The Hezhou grass whose trust has collapsed, Zhuefeng. Trust consists of two parts, to believe and to entrust. To trust is to believe in someone and to entrust one's future, even one's life and livelihood, to that person. Trust always involves risk, yet regardless of the outcome, one bears no resentment, no regret, no hatred, and no grievance. Trust is the cornerstone of harmonious human relationships and the healthy functioning of society. Once trust is lost, the cost of interaction between individuals and communities, and between communities themselves will rise without limit. This not only causes enormous waste of resources and energy, but also generates unspeakable suffering and even disasters. If a person lacks trust in their own ancestors, the greatest creator of the universe, then that person is like water without a source or a tree without roots. Such a person becomes fickle, faithless, irresponsible, driven by profit, opportunistic, and self-centered. In short, such a person is unreliable. Trust is a quality and privilege of heavenly life. Without being a heavenly life, trust simply cannot be established. Those who cannot be selfless and egoless will never possess trust. Those whose minds are unclear, yet who pride themselves on clever calculation. If they claim to have trust, even ghosts would not believe it. Those who are ignorant yet arrogant, believing they already hold the truth, cannot give rise to trust. Those who lack great wisdom, great insight, great courage, and great faith cannot even touch the edge of trust. A tourist who does not trust the guide is bound to end the journey unhappily. If the tourist not only distrusts the guide, but constantly guards against and instructs the guide, fearing the guide may act against the tourist's interests, then the very program of tourist and guide has already been destroyed. There are only two optimal paths in life, to follow others or to be followed by others. Any way of being that lies between these two is merely a compromise for survival, calculating, competing for power and interest, and clinging on in a state of prolonged exhaustion. Being able to raise a banner for others to follow is admirable. But if the banner is raised poorly, one may be condemned by thousands, spat upon by the masses, and even bring ruin upon one's lineage, leaving a legacy of disgrace for generations. Following others is a high-risk endeavor. Unless one can do so with complete trust, full sincerity, and no doubts whatsoever, abandoning the path halfway is the most likely outcome. Returning to the main point, recently I have written 4 consecutive articles criticizing and attempting to salvage Hezhou grass. Hezhou grass has shown some improvement, but the core genetic makeup remains unchanged. Arrogance persists. This time, instead of seeing himself as the supreme judge of the universe, he has positioned himself as the universal matron. Today, I reviewed the comments following, "Respect is merely a catchphrase for Hezhou grass." After Hezhou grass's reply, Hezhou grass posted a very long response. Those interested may read it themselves. The core of his message was, "My concerns stem from 2 practical considerations, not to legislate for anyone, but out of concern for the diversity of existence and the complexity of situations within the Chanyuan. The boundary between public and private, the fact that capability and agency are not always correctly interpreted by outsiders. To avoid future misunderstandings, I propose several practical suggestions, not as constraints, but as protection, clarifying context, dynamic consent, external communication. How does that feel? Does it give you the sensation of running into a meddling housekeeper? So many Lifechanyuan grass members have spoken earnestly and repeatedly, pointing out exactly where Hezhou grass's problem lies. In particular, Hezhou grass devoted extensive effort to guiding and enlightening him. And the result? The result is, no matter how many people say I'm wrong, I am determined to be the matron. So where exactly is Hezhou grass's problem? He does not trust the guide. He believes the guide's mental capacity is inferior to his own. He believes the guide has not thought through matters as thoroughly as he has. What kind of existence is someone who wants to act as a guide to the guide? Hezhou grass, do you want to be the guide? If you do, and if both carbon-based and silicon-based Chanyuan grass members unanimously agree, then starting tomorrow you shall be the guide of Lifechanyuan. January 13th, 2026.